Hi, this is Kathy, and I wanted to show you what to do with these little scrappy ends of things that you always end up with like 5 containers. Now you can either make granny squares till the cows come home, or you can make a nice big ball of yarn out of your scraps, and you don't have to tie any knots. Here's another one. You just never know how it's going to come out, but it's kind of cool, actually. What you do is you use a Russian join, and I can show you how to do that. Pick any of your scraps, it doesn't matter which one, and you can either do them in kind of an order, or you can do them randomly and have a good time with it. I'm just going to thread this yarn on this needle. And I do have needles with bigger eyes than this, but I have a nice point on this one, and that's going to help us with this project. What you do is you're going to take your needle and you're going to run it through the yarn. It helps sometimes if you unwind this a little bit, but make sure that you get into the middle of the twist. Let's see if I can get this to work right. And go, like an inch maybe, something like that. Make sure it's through on both sides. And then pull it, let's see, this one. Pull it through like so. And now I have a loop, and it's kind of tight. I'm going to trim off this little end here, just like so. And then I'm going to pick another color. Let's take this yellow one, and I'm going to run this end through my loop. Okay, and then I'm going to thread the needle like I did before. Get all the strands in there. There we go. You don't need to leave a whole long thing. Now I'm going to come around and I'm going to do it to the yellow, the same as I did to the white. Untwist it just a little bit. Make sure you get in between the strands. Like so. And I didn't get very many strands on that. Only like, but it's holding. That's good enough for me. Alright, trim off the end. And now I wind up the yellow onto the white. And you can do this over and over and over again, and you'll have a ball of many colors. You can make it as big or as little as you want. I try to keep mine of a certain size so that it fits into my yarn bowl like this. I have a bowl that's so deep, and I like running my yarn in that one. So now I'm going to do it one more time so you can see it. I'm going to take this end of the yellow, thread it on my needle if I can. There we go. And I'm going to run it through my yarn here. This also is a nice way to do it for babies so that there are no knots, and it's also easier for people who are having chemo not to have knots in their prayer shawls so that it doesn't irritate their skin. And I like that you can just keep right on crocheting. You do not have to stop and tie knots or twist ends together or whatever. I'll take this blue one here. Doesn't require any particular color scheme, although you can make one up if you wish. Let me twist that a little here. This one doesn't want to thread. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to loosen this up a little and get my needle into the strands. You kind of have to just be trickier than the yarn is. Alright. There we are. I'm going to trim that one a little bit. And there we go. See? And I'm going to wind this up. And my ball is getting a little bigger, and pretty soon I'll have used up all my scraps, and I'll have a nice big ball of yarn. When I use that container, it's just about equal to a good-sized skein of yarn. So then I can say, well, 3 of them makes a lap robe. And that makes it real easy to figure. So let's get this all wound on here. And you see what we're doing, and I hope that gives you some ideas for how to do a Russian join and how to use up your scraps without having to, do a lot of cutting and if you don't want to do granny squares, this is a good way to do it. So I hope you have a good day. Stay safe and stay well.